Welcome to a story of a chilling mystery called the Dyatlov Pass incident, the one that has confounded science and riveted detective story fans. It's January 1959 in the part of the Soviet Union. A group of 9 highly experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, set off for what would be the last trip into the treacherous Ural Mountains to make their way to the remote Mount Otorten. None of them could imagine the fate that would be their lot. In the group were 8 men and 2 women, poor students and graduates of the Ural Polytechnical Institute. They were seasonal laborers, talented, knowing, and fit for the rigors of the situation. But something went terribly wrong. On February 1st, 1959, on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, or Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language, the group set up their tent. This was to be their last campsite. When the group didn't return on time, a search party was dispatched. On the 26th of February, rescuers found their abandoned and shredded tent. Even stranger, the tent had been cut open from the inside, and all the belongings of the hikers were still there. The search party soon found the bodies of the hikers in various locations around the campsite. Their deaths were bizarre and unexplained, with some found in various states of undress, others with severe internal injuries but no external wounds. Let's have a closer look at the sequence of events and the conditions in which the bodies were found. To the north lay the first 2, the Dyatlovitsi, Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonischenko. Near the remnants of a fire, any hope of preserving warmth here at the edge of the forest had died away. Meanwhile, they huddled their necks to it, likely shoeless, virtually naked. It seemed like one was trying to climb a tree, maybe hoping to see the camp or flee from something. The next 3 bodies were of the group of 4, including Igor Dyatlov, found next to the forest and campsite, almost as if trying to return to the tent. Inadequately dressed for the freezing temperature, they seemed to have fled all of a sudden. The 4 remaining bodies were found in a ravine 2 months later, as the woods were more deeply penetrated. The bodies suffered from severe internal injuries. Ludmila Dubinina and Alexander Kolevidov had broken ribs, and Nikolai Thibault-Brignol had a fractured skull, which was proven to be fatal. Dubinina had her tongue missing, which further added to the case being interesting. Thus, what might have been the cause of this disastrous and enigmatic incident? Over the years, this mystery has spurred many theories trying to explain the Dyatlov Pass incident. One of the first theories was that an avalanche hit the camp, which made the hikers panic and run. Evidence was not quite fitting into place, though. The tent was found covered by a thin layer of snow, but there wasn't really major evidence of an avalanche. Furthermore, the kind of injuries that some of the hikers had was too serious for an avalanche alone. While an avalanche could possibly explain the fact that the hikers fled the tent and ran away, it could not explain internal injuries, nor the fact that there was no external trauma. Also, it wasn't steep enough for a big avalanche to take place on that mountain. The following is another common supposition. The hikers were victims of a secret military test. The area surrounding the Dyatlov Pass was a notorious site for military activity, and it is suspected that the group might have stumbled upon a test site for parachute mines or other experimental weapons. The injuries found on some of the hikers indicated damage that one might expect from an explosive type of force, such as those caused by parachute mines. This would be consistent with the report the other hikers in the area gave at the same time of the supposedly strange orange orbs that were floating in the sky. What adds to the mystery even further is that high levels of radiation were found on some of the clothes of the group of 9. This has led some in a rush to speculate that they had been exposed to radioactive material of military origin or even some natural phenomena. Exposures found on the clothing were a bit higher than normal, but not extremely so. This is justifiable because the hikers may already have been exposed to previous sources of radiation, such as the sources commonly found in universities or even naturally occurring isotopes circulating in the environment. Other theories range from the plausible to actually kind of out there. Some hold to the idea that the hikers had been set upon by the local Mansi tribesmen, but no evidence to support that idea exists. Others say that a Yeti or alien encounter could be the solution because of the bizarre injuries and the tongue being missing. While those theories are surely interesting, there is no actual evidence to corroborate them. The Mansi are people with a tradition of peace with hikers in the region, and there have been no credible sightings or evidence of a Yeti so far. In recent years, There has been new research carried out regarding the Dyatlov Pass incident, as well as new technological elements in place for this kind of incident. In a 2019 study, Swiss researchers used computer simulations and modern forensic analysis to revisit the avalanche theory. Our findings suggest a very rare type of avalanche, a so-called slab avalanche. This could exert forces suitable to produce the internal injuries without necessarily presenting the usual large area of ground disturbance, and therefore explain the absence of external trauma. While this theory provides a more likely reason, it still does not explain everything. For example, why did some of the hikers leave the tent partially dressed? What caused the missing tongue and the high levels of radiation? The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most gripping mysteries of the 20th century. Until today, numerous investigations and speculations have taken place, but the exact chain of events from that fateful night of 1959 may never be fully understood. What really happened to Igor Dyatlov and his friends? Their answers lay in the cold, silent mountains of the Dyatlov Pass, awaiting the day when their secrets are finally unveiled.